Surprise, surprise, right? Oh yeah, I forgot to ask you too. Puzzle Olympics was okay? Okay. All right, we'll talk more about that later. I do want to ask. All right, 6th grade, our objective today is to continue talking about percents, in particular, percent increase and percent decrease. I'm skipping around in the notes a little bit. I told you that we're not going to talk about the percent equation because we talked about that last week. A proportion and an equation are the same thing. So there's no reason for me to teach you the same types of problems with an equation method when a proportion is an equation. So we're going to skip that and go right to 7.5 today, which I'll explain once we get there. Thursday this week, you're going to have a quiz on lessons 7.1 to 7.7, okay? Sorry, 7.6. 7.1 to 7.6, my fault. That is all the percent information. The back part of this chapter is percent interest and rate problems. So learning about principal, interest, rate, and time, we'll spend on the last 2 sections, okay? So just heads up for you guys. You will have a chapter test eventually, maybe in about 2 weeks, week and a half on everything. Okay, let's go over the warm-up, which was all of page 12 in your notes. Okay, Matt, number 1. Good. Jeremy, letter B. Whoops, I meant to say A, Matt. Good, 0.2 or 0.20, however you want to write it. Donatus, letter C. Okay, I'll come back to you. Page 12. Emma M, letter C. Good. Zach, letter D. Good. 1.75. Okay, Donatus, you ready? Example 1, letter A. Good. 46.1%. Letter B, Charles. Good. Mary, letter C. Great job. Briar, letter D. Perfect. Okay, Annalise, example 2, letter A. Perfect. Sean, letter B. Yep. Letter C, Emma H. Good. Letter D, Doug. Good job. Justin, 3A. Good. Matt, letter B. Good. Alyssa, letter C. Perfect. Letter D, Adam. Great job. Okay, Emma M, number 4A. Good, 9. Zach, letter B. Good. Briar, letter C. Okay, you should have been doing that when we were talking about weekends. Okay, Sean, letter C. Good. Annalise, letter D. Perfect. Charles, letter E. Good. Letter F, Mary. Good. So the reason I wanted to do this as a warm-up today is there are a lot of decimals, and just so you know, you could get decimal answers for these. I typically in class have everything getting nice numbers. That's not life. Okay, if you were applying this to something in the real world, typically it's not going to come out as a perfect, nice integer. So just keep in mind it's okay to get decimals. You still can use the proportion method for all these. You also could have just multiplied. So there were a couple ways that you could have set these up. Any questions on the warm-up? Mary? For number 4E? Okay, did you set up your proportion method? Okay, but the 199 has to go on the bottom if you're doing the proportion method. So it should be x over 199 equals 115 over 100. Okay, do it again. Maybe you typed it in wrong. You might be saying it right, but you might have done it wrong. So try it again just to make sure. Now, that was just one way to do it. You also could have taken 1.15 times 199. Okay. You okay, Mary? Correct. That's what the point is of me telling her that. Annalise? Yep. Yep. You change the percent to a decimal. You always move it to the left 2 places. To change the percent to a decimal, you always move the percent, or the decimal, I should say, to the left 2 places. Yep. Yep. If you're just multiplying. This was our introduction to the chapter when we talked about all this. So if you just multiplied, it would be 1.15 times 199. Charles? That's why this is a warm-up. Yes. Yes. Justin? Yep. Oh, definitely. 41 2/3%? Yep. That's perfect. Yeah, that's probably better. Okay, anyone else on the warm-up? Jeremy? Yeah, but make sure you understand the proportion method. Okay, that's right. Briar? Yeah. Okay, any other questions on the warm-up? All right, let's go to homework. And you guys, most of you, at least this morning, said it was pretty easy when you came in. So let's see how you guys did on this. Okay, this was page 337. If you need your book out for reference, that's fine. Just make sure you do yours, okay, and then check it on Blackboard. What? If you need to go to the nurse, go ahead. Okay, Emma M., since you're there, number 1. Good. Number 2 said to explain, hold on, tell whether to represent the base, the part. Okay, so number 2, I just wanted to make sure I knew. Zach, what'd you put for number 2? Good, it represents the base. Briar, number 3. Good, Adam, number 4. Perfect, percent. Sean, number 5. Six repeating, yep. Mary, number 6. Good. Annalise, number 7. Yes, so the mistake on that was, no. Okay, they put I'm just telling you. They put the 20 in the wrong spot. The proportion for 7, in case you wrote this, should have been 20 over 30 equals P over 100. So they just set up their proportion wrong. Annalise is correct. That's the correct answer. Yep. Mary? That's what Annalise said. Yep. Yep. All right, Charles, number 8. Good, or 15 5/8%, either way. Number 9, Emma H. Perfect. Donatus, number 10. No. You might just not be able to read your writing, I'm guessing. Alyssa? Good, 78.4%. Matt, number 11. Good. Number 12, Justin. Perfect. Doug, 13. Nope. Number 13. Is that what you're asking me? Or are you giving me the answer of 14? Okay, good. Okay, 14, Annalise. Perfect. Sean, 15. Good job, 13 teams. Briar, 16. Good, about 280 grams. Zach, number 17. Good, 55 paintings. Emma M, number 18. You said 40. Okay, perfect. 40%. Now 22A, Adam, did you get to that one? Or is that the one? Okay. Mary, 22A, you should have 2 answers for that. Good. Okay, so 50% for summer, 12.5% for fall. Letter B, Alyssa. Good, 81 8th graders. Letter C. Okay, letter C, we need an answer and I need you to explain. I just wanted to make sure I read the question again. Charles? Okay, well what you just told me you find out that 30% prefer the spring. That was your 30%. So then to get that, you have x over 780 equals 30 over 100. Oh, I see what yeah, but the first thing you did got you to 30%. So you're correct. What you told me gets you to 30%, but then you have to use this to get you to 234. But you're good. Annalise? Yep. You're fine. You probably just didn't write everything down. The thing that I wrote down up there. You do have that written down, Charles? Okay, I'll say it again. The proportion Charles used, okay, gets you to 30% prefer spring. Okay, so that first proportion you have to use for the second proportion, which gets you to 234. So you should have two proportions for that one. Okay, well, I'm guessing you probably just did the second one in your calculator, but you didn't write it down. Okay. Emma? Yep. Okay, so 22A, so if you look at do you have your book? No. Okay, look at mine. Okay, if you look at summer, so there's 180 students on the chart for summer. So you do 180 divided by the total, which is 360. So it tells you 50%, that gives you just 0.5 prefers summer. And then you do the same thing for, I don't know what the other one was, fall. Just divide it by 360. Does that make sense? And you can also use a proportion method to find it. You good? Yeah. Okay. Annalise? Probably not. If you don't have a percent sign, that's what I'm more concerned about. No, I'm not that too picky with the label thing, unless it's like area, perimeter, missing your percent sign, no. I mean, you should explain it, but I probably wouldn't take off for that. Doug? No. Nope. Okay, anyone else on the homework? Okay, raise your hand if you got all of them right. Okay, raise your hand if you missed one. Okay, missed two. Okay, give me a head nod. If you missed something, do you know what you did wrong? Okay. All right, any questions? All right, open up notes. We are fast forwarding ahead to 7.5, which is percent of change. So before we actually go there, anyone want to take a guess as to what this is? What's percent of change? Sean? Mm-hmm.
It used to be $80.
Yep.
But now it's $50. How much percentage?
Awesome. Perfect. Donatus, another example. Good. Perfect. Justin. Yeah, it was. Matt. Yep, it was. It is percent of increase or decrease. That's why I'm asking for examples. Awesome, though. Emma?
It's like you buy something as $20 and it's 10% off.
Okay, so discount. That's a decrease. Good. Mary? You're right. I would never do that in here with you guys, but you're right. That could happen. Just like I won't give you your tests for homework. Same thing. Briar? I know. Just kidding with you. Yes. So tax. Perfect. Sean?
Oh, well, this isn't a example.
Okay. Comment.
Last year, Mr. Victor had like a enrichment to try to get into his class.
Oh, neat. That's nice that he did that. Adam?
Oh.
Cool.
Oh, you did the...
Yes, good. And we're going to do that more today. All right, can someone read letter A for us underneath the warm-up? Matt, nice and loud. Good. So can someone kind of clarify that for us? What's the difference between wholesale and retail? Just to make sure everyone's clear before we go into this. Briar? Perfect. Now, based on what Matt read, just make sure you guys were listening, why might they do that? What's one of the points? There's many points, but why might they do that? Emma H? Yeah, make money. Why else, Adam?
Because if you don't, you're gonna lose money.
Correct. Why?
Because if you sell places like people buy, you're not gonna make any money.
Correct. You're actually going to lose money. Why are you losing money, though?
Because you still need to buy the merchandise.
Okay, and why else? You're right. Rent, so expenses. There's many expenses. You know, salaries for their employees, building rent, bills for electric, water, blah, blah, blah. We can keep going. So that would not only be stupid, but, you know, they're losing money. Okay, you own your own business, but you're ending up spending thousands and thousands of dollars instead of making it if you're not changing that wholesale to a retail price. That's a very basic business concept. So I just want to make sure everyone's clear on that. Sean? Yeah. You would not make it. You wouldn't have any employees. You would have to declare bankruptcy. You wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. My uncle owns his own company, so he tells me a lot about certain things that he does. So it's called Made Brands. I'll tell you about it later. So not a good idea. Okay, are these comments or questions? Go ahead, real quick. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't go there. I haven't been there in a while, so if I had went there, I would explain that to you, but I'm not sure how that works. Justin? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Right. So a lot of expenses for that. Okay, letter B. Can someone read that one for us nice and loud? Emma H. Awesome. So I know anytime I hear sale, I always think of Kohl's, because when you go into Kohl's, like almost everyone at their rack says on sale, on sale. Like, to me, that's a little bit overkill. You know, they do that because mentally customers think, oh, it's on sale, I'm getting a good deal. But really, they just mark up the price and put a sale sign and put it back down to what they would have sold it as anyways. It's all mental. Now, maybe I shouldn't be telling you that. Maybe you know someone that works at Kohl's, but that drives me crazy when I go into Kohl's. I see sale, 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 sale. Well, you go with your parents, I'm sure. Oh, okay. Okay. So anyways, if you do, does anyone know what I'm talking about? Have you guys been there recently? Okay. I'm not a huge fan either, but if I do have to go there for some reason, a sale every once in a while makes me more excited than everywhere. Adam? Oh my gosh, we were just there on Saturday. My fiance and I were, and you know what's funny? We were price shopping tuxes, and they're not even cheaper than Men's Warehouse, Nino's, all the other tux places in the area. They're actually a little bit more. Isn't that funny? Because we just did all this research on tuxes. I think we're going to go with Men's Warehouse, but yeah, I agree with you completely. They do this, and then people don't do their research, and they think, oh, it's the cheapest. You know, that's something that you guys should always do, is look at all the prices and compare. They don't think that everyone does that. Donatus? Yeah. Right. Yeah. All right. Let me move on, and then we'll come back to your comments, okay? Is this a question, Emma, or comment? Okay, we'll come back. Sorry. Okay, so I'm glad we talked a lot about that, but let's go to what we need to talk about here. So with all those examples, which we'll continue with them if there's time, to find a percent change of anything, whether it's a sale, whether it's a markup, whether it's me selling you guys cookies in here, which I'm kidding, I would never do. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Just making sure you're paying attention. To find percent change, you always do the amount of increase or decrease over the original amount, Adam should be writing this down, equals P over 100. So this goes in that box on your paper. This is not what is in your book. The book explains it in 2 or 3 steps. I don't like how they explain it. This is how I explain it because it is still the proportion method, okay? It is still very similar to part over whole equals percent over 100, but we are doing the amount that the prices were either increased or decreased over the original is still equal to percent over 100. I'm going to show you what I mean by this. So this is something that I just kind of changed the whole chapter here and just focused everything on proportion method. Makes it much easier for students to retain things if there's 1 or 2 ways to do it instead of 7 different ways. So I'll explain this with that first example. Guys, hold off 1 second, okay? Does everyone have that written down? Okay, let me do an example and then I'll come back to your questions. All right, so let's go to letter A. Okay, so we need to decide whether the change is an increase or a decrease and find the percent, round to the nearest whole percent, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so from $90 to $117, let's make this a little more exciting. So I go to buy video games for you guys for class. So it goes from $90 to $117. Raise your hand if you think that's a percent increase. Raise your hand if you think that's a percent. Okay, good. So put a little arrow here. It's an increase. Okay, set up our skeleton proportion method. Line equal, or fraction bar equals fraction bar over 100. It's always the original goes on the bottom. The original is 90 because that's our starting price. What goes on top based on the formula? Sean? Good, how'd you get that? Good. The amount of increase goes on top. It's kind of like saying what's the new amount because it's the increase. So you subtract these numbers to get the amount of increase or decrease, which in this case is 27, over the original, which is 90, equals percent over 100. You can use X instead of P if you want. Okay, use cross product solve. What is the percent increase? Matt? Good. It's a 30% increase. Please either write the word increase or draw a line for me. Okay, Doug, you're with us, right? Okay. All right, Annalise? No. Mm-hmm. That's why I like this method, because it kind of makes more sense, you know, so you guys can see what it's doing, but it's also, I agree with you, it's pretty easy. Sean, did you have a comment or question before when you sure? Okay, let's go to letter B. So from $56 to $84, Jeremy, increase or decrease? Good, it's an increase. Set up your fraction bar equals fraction bar over 100. Doug, what number goes here? Good, the original, which is 56. Alyssa, what number goes up here? Good, the amount of increase, which is 28. This is P, which represents percent. Adam, what's the percent increase? Wow, you guys are fast. Good. Figured you were done since you were just sitting there. Good. So there's a 50% increase. You guys are so good. Is this easy? Okay. Annalise? Okay, well, I'm not there yet. Oh, okay. Nope, no, it's over the original amount. Because you're finding the amount of increase or decrease from the original amount. Like, this is your starting point. So it has to be over the original because you want to see how much increase it was from here to here. You always keep your starting point on the bottom. You have to have something to base it off of. Briar? Yeah, it's the same thing. Once you guys understand this, you can use your own method. Like I said, I just like to show you guys one so you understand how to do it. But yes, Briar, you can do that. Matt? Yes, I'm getting there. Yes, Justin, trying to get there. Say that again. Okay, hold on. Okay, letter C. From $85 to $68. Mary, increase or decrease? Good, decrease. So Justin, how do we set up the proportion? Awesome. Okay, so Justin, what'd you get? Good, and 20% what? Good, so make sure you guys either have your arrow or have the word so that we know it was an increase or a decrease. That's very important. Adam? Say that again. Don't do that. It's not negative. I know what you're saying, but put it, either write the word decrease or draw an arrow. Okay? All right, Sean. Yes. Yes. Yep. Okay, go ahead and do letter D on your own if you haven't already. Raise your hand if you're done with letter D. Oh man, all right, well, never mind, we'll just get moving here. Okay, Doug, tell me your proportion. I'm going to. Okay, well, tell me the proportion though. And put your book away, please, till we're done. Okay, equals, just tell me the proportion. Okay, I just didn't hear you. Okay, so what'd you get? Good, 25% decrease. All right, questions, since you guys are all ahead of me. Emma? Yeah, but I will be honest with you, this is typically a little bit confusing to the sixth graders when I teach it. That's why you might think that I'm going kind of slow. Okay, I agree, I think it's easy, but Doug? Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, I want you guys to flip over and do E through H if you haven't already. Don't go further though. Do not go further. Do E through H and then put your pencil down. Do not go further. Charles, don't go further. Try E through H. Make sure you label whether it's an increase or a decrease. I'm still cracking up that you guys are like, okay, she's going really slow. Because I want you to just wait a second because the next part's slightly different. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. It is, but just be patient with me, please. Good job. Yep, that's perfect. Okay, about another minute. And again, either write the word increase or decrease or draw your arrow. You guys are so good at this. Sorry. Yeah, you are. E through H. I don't know why. I'm not quite sure what I did. Good question. Okay, finish up the one that you're on, even if it's just letter G, that's okay. Just finish up the one you're on. Okay, Zach, letter E. Just tell us your answer, please. Good, 33 and a let me try that again. 33 and a third %. Is it an increase or decrease? Good. Briar, letter F. Okay, letter G, Briar. Okay, keep going. I'll come back to you. Okay. Adam, letter F. 0.4% increase. Good. Mary, did you do letter H? Okay. Good job. Briar, you ready? Increase or decrease? Good job. Questions? Doug? You can put point 3 repeating, just like always. Good. Charles? Almost. Okay. Next thing. Okay, ready? To find a new amount. This is a little different, but you're probably still going to think it's easy. Charles, you with me? Okay, there's a box in the middle of page 17. I want everyone to write down A over B equals P over 100. Okay, to find the new amount, draw an arrow to the P. Write down percent after increase or decrease. Put an arrow to B. B is still the original number. A is the new amount. So label all this, please. The book teaches this a different way. I'll explain this with a problem. It'll make more sense. P is the percent after the increase or the decrease. A is the new amount. B is still the original. I'll show you. Just let me get to the example and I'll explain it.
So you're adding A.
Yep. No, you're not. That's not right, Matt. Okay, don't do I yet. Those of you that are all writing frantically, don't do I yet. Okay, ready? Make your skeleton. Okay, listen carefully. We are increasing 45 by 20%. You need to find the new amount. This is the new amount. Put an A. 45 is the original, goes on the bottom. What goes here? Oh, a lot of you know. I think you know. Justin? Nope. You're increasing it by 20%. Doug? Why? Yep. Yep. If you're increasing something, you have to take 100% plus whatever you're increasing it by, so it's not a discount. If it's a discount, we're taking 100% minus the discount. We are increasing 45 by 20%. So that new amount better be bigger than 45 because we're increasing it. Anytime you see the keyword increase, you're taking 100% plus this percent, and that's your P. Mary? That's the long way of doing it. That's what the book does. You can do it that way. If you're going to do it that way, I prefer that you do 45 times 1.2. Hold on. Shh, Doug. So I prefer that you do that, Mary, because if you're increasing it, instead of doing it in 2 steps, 100% plus 20% is 120%. Convert that to a decimal, which is 1.2. So if you do 45 times 1.2, you're still getting 54. So increasing 45 by 20%, you get 54. Emma? Yep, I'm getting there. Annalise? I'm just skipping that part because you guys know how to do that. Go ahead. No, because if you're writing 20% on top, then you have to do it. You either do it in 2 steps or you're getting a discount. To do it all in one step, you have to take 100% plus 20% because that new number is going to be more than 45. It's a 20% increase. So to do it all in one step, you either do it this way, Annalise, or you do 45 times 1.20. Either way, you get 54. If you don't want to do it that way, Annalise, you can do it 45 times 0.2, you get 9. But then you'd have to do 45 plus 9, you get 54. I just think that way is a pain. If you don't like it this way, you can do it times 0.2, if that's what you prefer. Okay. Yeah, let me do some more. It'll make more sense. Briar? I wouldn't do the cross products differently like that every time. You're going to confuse yourself when we go back to the old stuff, Briar. I would just do this. Multiply, 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 and then divide by 100 on both sides. Okay? Charles, real quick, because I don't have much time left. No, you're finding 20, it's an increase. Yeah, you could think of it that way. I'm sorry, you could think of it that way. Yes. I was going to say something, but no, you can say it that way. All right, let's go to letter J. Doug, I'll come back to you. Okay, letter J, decrease 85 by 28%. So 85 is the original, that goes on the bottom. We're finding the new amount, okay? You're decreasing it. So what do you think we're going to do here? You're decreasing it by 28%, Alyssa. Good, so what goes here? Good. Can anyone explain that? Why would you subtract it? It's like a discount. Mary, why would you subtract it? Good. And think about a discount. You're paying 72% of $85 because you got a 28% discount. If I had a coupon for 28% off, I'm not paying 100% of the price. I'm paying 72% of the price. You guys with me on that? Kind of like over here, if that's the wholesale, you're not paying $45, okay? You're paying 120% of the wholesale, so maybe the new amount is the retail. You're not paying 100% of it, you're paying 120% of it. They're increasing that on you. They need to use your money to pay for their expenses. So try to think of it like retail, wholesale, that might help. Charles, go ahead. Yep. Yeah, they do that. People don't read and don't think about it, and people don't know math. Correct. Okay, what's the answer here? Matt? No. Close though. Justin? Good. 61.2. Matt, check your calculations. Yeah. Okay. So give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs down, even on this. Is this still easy? Okay. All right. So I wanted to do one more, but no time. So homework. Let me explain, and then we'll do those 2 word problems at the bottom, I think, is the warm-up tomorrow. Okay, you're going to do all, which is 1 to 22. This shouldn't be too bad. Now, here's what I will say, though. In case you have questions tomorrow, I would please show some work, okay, whether you like the proportion method, whether you like to do it in 2 steps. It doesn't matter to me how you get to your answer. But I recommend showing some work for you. We have a quiz Thursday on all this, okay? So show your work. If you have any questions, let me know. Good job today. You guys can get packed up.